Have you come across this question? Shallow copy, deep copy in Java? Any idea about this?
Yes, using a copy construct.
Okay, we can use the. What does it really mean when I say shallow copy? What does it really mean? One line answer. Can anyone give? What comes to your mind? Shallow copy. What does it really mean? Forget about copy constructors. Copy constructor is one of the way to implement the shallow copy or the deep copy. But what comes to your mind when I say shallow copy? Anyone?
Partial copy.
Okay, partial copy. Is there any other answers? Partial copy. So when you say partial copy, what do you really mean? See, for example, if you have let us take some variables. So some variable like age variable. Let us say the name variable. So when you say partial copy, okay, how it is applicable to these variables? So only name will be copied or only age will be copied? What does it really mean? Any idea on this? Okay, we will discuss that. Okay, this question is going to revolve around the previous question. Okay, what was the previous question? Yesterday question we are discussing, right? Do you remember call by value and call by reference? Call by value and call by value in Java. Actually, we have discussed this call by
Yeah.
value, right? So this question is going to revolve around this follow-up question. The question which you have discussed yesterday is call by value. Okay, stay focused. Let me take a small Java code. Okay, let us say I have a student class. Okay, my student class has now only two set of information. One is the name information. It is going to expose the age information. Okay, two information. Student class is going to expose two information, name and the age. So what I want to do, okay, let me generate constructor here. Source generate constructor using fields. Source generate setters and setters. I don't think explanation is required for this setters and getters, right? You know this, right? Why I'm doing this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
These things are very straightforward, right? I do not want to give explanation. So I'm also doing the two string method, okay? So how many variables do I have? I have two variables. So what I want to do, see, if I create a student object, student s1 equal to new student, okay? So I can pass a name. Let me say the name is Balaji and age is something like. Okay? So one student object is created. Okay? What I want to do, I want to copy the existing object. So this is going to give me what? This is going to give me something like, okay, behind the scenes, a memory gets allocated, isn't it? So new keyword is going to allocate it is going to allocate a memory, right? So a memory gets allocated, and you get S1 reference, right? And this S1 reference is going to hold two values, which is one is the name value, second one is the age value, right? So what I want to do, you don't want to keep the objects over and over again. I do not want to keep the objects over and over again. I just want to make use of an existing object so that I can take a copy from it, right? So you have the flexibility to create objects over and over again with the new keyword, yes or no? By using the new keyword, you can keep creating an object, yes or no? You can use many number of new keywords, right? Able to follow till now? But
Yes,
my
sir.
intention is I do not want to use a new keyword. Instead of using the new keyword, I want to find a way to copy this. Just want to find a way. I want to find a method. My method is going to do what? My method is going to do just copy the existing object and give it to me. It's going to do what? It is going to copy the existing object and give it to me. Right? So the question is, forget about shallow copy or deep copy. Question is, how can I copy? How can I create a new object just by copying an existing object? That is the question. You're understanding my intention, no? My question is, I just want to copy. I do not want to create an object by using the new keyword. I do not want to create an object by using the keyword. I just want to make use of that existing object. I want to make a copy out of it. What are the ways? Uh, by looking at this, what are the possible ways that I can copy? Do you recommend this? Do you recommend when I say student S2 equal to S1? Do you think this is copying the, are we able to achieve what we are intended to? Is it copying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sudhir is saying this. Okay. When I say system.out.println S1, okay. When I say system.out.println S2, right? So by looking at the output, okay, let me see the output. By looking at the output, you get to see what Balaji 25, Balaji. We are assuming that, okay, the things are getting copied. We are assuming that now S1, S2 is copy of S1. That is what our assumption is, right? But what is happening here is, okay, this piece of code is not doing the copy. These two lines of code is doing what? It is just sharing the same reference. Okay, you have the student object. Okay, you have what? You have something like S1, right? And this S1 is pointing to the same thing, same piece of information. Okay, you have Balaji, you have 25. Okay, and you are doing what? The next line, very next line says S1 is getting assigned to S2. S2 is of what type? S2 is of student type. Okay, so there will be a variable S2 created. This S2 is just pointing to the object where S1 is pointing. Able to understand? There is no new object created here. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Getting no new object is getting created. My intention is somehow I need to create a new object. I need to find a way to create a new object same as the existing object. But here it is not creating a new object. It is just referring to the existing object. Sir, where is the proof that this is referring to the existing object? Where is the proof? Okay, if I just try to do any kind of modification, see now I am able to print S1 and S2. Since both are pointing to the same object, you're getting the same value. Okay, I just do a kind of modification on the the age variable. Let me say S2 dot set age, right? S2 dot set age. I'm setting the age to 100. Okay, after setting the age to 100, okay, I'm trying to set the age. I'm using the S2 reference variable to do the modification. Okay, and if both are sharing to the same object, so see the modification is reflecting on the in both the objects. I am doing the modification by using H2. It should be what I will be expecting by using H2. Okay, I'm trying to do the modification on the age variable. Okay, this age variable is getting modified since the object is being shared between S1 and S2. The S1 will also see the modification. Do you agree that this is not the copy? It's not the way to do the copy.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, Manish Sudhir is answering. Balaji, Pavani, not there. They are not there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Focus. Question is, okay, the copy. Okay, the shallow copy is very important topic. You come across this in design pattern, so many things, but this is the basement. Okay, this is the basement. If you understand this, understanding the remaining topics or the understanding the complex topics are going to be very easy, right? Now let us jump into what. Okay, first try to understand how to do the copy. What I am doing is literally what I am going to do is, okay, let me remove all this. Okay. Now see here what I am trying to do. I am saying string, okay, copy name equal to S1 dot name, right? String copy age. So I am creating new variables. So for the name variable, I am creating a variable copy name. For the age, I am creating a variable copy age. So I'm extracting the age from S1. Okay, already we have the S1 object, right? I'm extracting the age from S1. I'm assigning those to the new variable. After doing this, what I'm doing, I'm saying student S2 equal to new student. Okay, copy name and copy age. Sorry, this is of integer type. Sorry, age is of integer type, right? So now you would find, okay, what I'm doing, I'm extracting the name, I'm extracting the age, I'm trying to assign it to the new fields. And again, but the problem here is still I am depending upon the new keyword here. still I'm depending on new keyword. It is not actually fulfilling our requirement. Okay, it is same as doing what? Supplying the values to the constructor by using the new keyword. Both are same. Still, it is not fulfilling the requirement. So this is also not the valid way of copying. So what is a valid way? Okay, so the valid way, what I am considering is I am creating a copy method. Focus here. I am creating a copy method. This copy method, my own method. My method is going to do what? My method is going to, if you give an object, it is going to return the copy of that object. That's it. Give student object, you're going to give the copy of the student object. Right? So it is going to give the copy of the student object. So return type is student. Okay, taking the access modifier as public. Inside this, what I am doing, okay, so string name, I'm taking the name variable because student has name, and I'm taking the age variable because student has age. Right? Okay. By using the reference current object, okay, I am extracting the name from the current object. I am assigning it to this name variable. I'm extracting the name from the age from the current object. I am assigning it to this variable, and after that, I am just returning the student. Okay. So my own method, a kind of factory method, which is going to create a copy. Okay, if you call this method on top of student object, it is going to return the copy of student object. As simple as that. Okay, in the client code, from the client code, simply I can say student s2 equal to this time. I want to create a copy of s1. Okay, I can call this reference variable dot copy method. This will ensure that a copy is getting created. Okay, this code is going to do what? Let me explain that in the paintbrush. Okay, so we know this first one as Balaji 25 s1. Okay, and look at this s2. Okay, this part s1 dot copy, okay. This copy method is going to do what? It is just going to produce the exact object with the same values. Okay, and you are assigning it to the s2. You understand? You
Yes,
understand
sir.
the purpose. So everything is abstracted here. Okay, see, from the client code, you are not using the new keyword. You could argue with me, sir. You said you are not supposed to use the new, but you are using the new keyword somewhere here. But not from the client code. I'm not using the client new keyword from the client code. Some way I have designed my own method. Okay, whenever I call this method, copy method is going to give me the copies. Okay, I can call this copy method many number of times. Okay, I will be getting the same student object over and over again. Now you understand what
Sir,
how yeah.
sir, if we make changes in S2, then S1 will remain same, right?
Yes, it will. Good question. Good observation. That is what the answer here is. Okay. See, now we will do the changes. S1, S2. Okay. I mean, I just want to print what is S1, S2. Let us see if it is really getting copied or not. Balaji 25, Balaji 25. So copying is successful. Let us try to do the change. Okay, on the S2 object. So let us say S2 dot name. I just want to say change the name to Suresh. So change name is a private variable now, so that's why set name. So I want to make the changes on the S2 variable to the Suresh. Okay, if it is really a copied object, if it is not a shared object, definitely now this time the first name should be Balaji, second name should be Suresh. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
I have to see. First name is Balaji, second name is Suresh. Which means now changes are happening independently, right? Hello? Previously
Yes,
it
sir.
was a common object. No, previously we have encoded an issue when you just assign a reference like this. Okay, previously what was the issue? So we were trying to use a common object. So like this. So one changes is affecting the other one. Right? But this time we are able to achieve something like we are able to create a copy. The question is, we have understood what is how to create a copy. The question is why this is necessary. Sometimes, see, you may be having 20 to 30 parameters. Okay, parameters in the sense in a particular class, in a student class may be accepting at least 30 variables. Minimum, let us have 20 variables. Okay, let us say that 19 variables are common. If 19 variables are common, if only one variable differs, then I just create a student copy again and I just set the value for the the unique variable. Everyone understand?
Yes, sir.
I can create original copy. Every 19 variables remain same. That only one, that particular unique variable is going to change. I can use setters now. You see the advantage here? Why copying a object is required in most cases. This is one of the scenarios,
Yes, sir.
right? The question, okay, sir, you have said what is a copy constructor? I mean, not copy constructor. How to copy the object? Okay. Question is, what is shallow copy? You have to understand this, no? Shallow copy says, okay, theoretically, look at the shallow copy. This is the one-line answer that you can give in the interview room, okay? Shallow copy creates a new object. Fine. Agreed. But it does not clone the object inside it. What does it really mean? So far, we are dealing with the variables, right? We're dealing with what variables here? We are dealing with the direct variables. When I say direct variables, string is it is built by Java. I can say it is a direct variable. I mean, it is a predefined variable, I can say. Predefined class, I can say. Integer, again primitive, it's already there. Let us say that if you have any variable that is created by you, address variable. The copy will not happen for this address variable. That is what the theory says. I will show that for you. What the theory says is, okay, it but does not clone the objects inside. If there is any object, okay, those objects will not be copied. Right, let us jump into that. Okay, so this is the manual way of doing the copy, but Java has provided you one what we call it as one interface. Okay, the interface name is what? The clonable interface. We keep the same thing. Do not have to create your own copy method. You can depend on what? You can depend on an interface, which is what? The clonable interface. Okay, now the question comes. What is a clonable interface? Anyone? Any idea?
You have to override the clone method.
Okay. Again, one more question. Okay. Do you have clone method inside the clonable interface?
Yes, sir. Abstract.
No. Clonable interface is a marker interface. You do not have any method. It's a marker interface. Clone method is part of object class. Again, this is an interview question. If you want, you can refer.
Okay.
Clonable is an interface. It is a marker interface. What is when I say marker interface? Any interface with no abstract method. An empty interface is called as what? Marker interface. Okay. So what is the purpose of this clonable? This clonable, when you use this clonable interface, it is going to give you a special qualities to that particular class. What is the special qualities? Okay. For example, student class is there, na? Class student. Okay, sir. Class student. When I say special qualities, when you say your class is implementing clonable interface, it means the student class is capable enough to produce copies of students. You will understand. A student class is capable enough to produce multiple copies of students. If you want, you can create copies. You will get that capability only when a particular class is implementing the clonable interface. Able to follow till now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, second question, right? Clonable is a marker. You do not have to implement it. What is a proof? See, this is our class now. Let me implement this clonable. Okay, it is not throwing you any errors so that you can override it. Do you see any error here?
No.
You do not have to override anything because it is a marker interface. There's no abstract. But our student class has got enough quality to produce what? Copy of students, copy of objects. But how would you produce it? Along with the clonable, you should also override a method. You should also do what? You should also override a method. What method you have to override? Override the clone method. Clone method is part of object class. Previously, I have built my own method. Do you remember copy method, right? Copy method is whose method?
Yes, sir.
This is our method. Okay. Our method is doing, copy method is doing what? Just creating your copies. Okay. If you do not want to define your own method, you want to depend on the Java library. Okay. You can go for clone. Clone is nothing but copy only. What is the first thing? Your class should implement clonable interface, guys. Second thing is your class should override the clone method, which is part of the object class. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's do the same thing. Okay, somewhere in the code, I'm just saying, I'm typing clone. Just type clone and give control space. It gets overwritten automatically. Okay, this is the clone method. Then type is object type. Okay, and it throws clone not supported exception. Okay, you need to take this exception along with the along with the method tag. It returns what? Super.clone. So what does this line says means? Very simple, right? So it keeps calling the clone method. Internally, this is designed in such a way that, okay, if you call on a current object, it returns the copy. Right? So you can do the same thing. What you can do the same thing. Student s2 equal to, okay, you have created an object for student, and it is placed in the reference variable s1. If I using s1, just call clone method, right? And add cast. Why cast means this is returning the object type. Okay, this is returning the object type. You want to convert that to student type. You are just typecasting it student type. It is going to throw exception. You need to declare that also. That's it. Same job it is going to do. The copy method, which was creating a copy of student, right? The clone method is also going to do the same thing, but this time Java is doing this for you. You type s1, s2. If you type s2, able to see? Let's start.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I just used clone instead of copy. Copy is our method. Clone is what? The Java method. This is the prototype. Okay. So shallow copy is somewhat making sense, but the question is somewhere something is missing here. So I am saying shallow copy, and if the theory says, okay, it copies the reference of, it does not copy the reference of next one. Let us change my code. Okay. So these are what? These are direct. This is an immutable object, and this is the direct primitive. Let us take another class address. Let me remove all this. Let me remove all this. Okay, I'm just building the student class from the beginning of it to understand the nature of shallow copy. So address, in my address class, I have only one field which is called location. Location. You have one field, okay, it's always mandatory to generate constructors using fields. You're dealing with data. Okay, source generate getters and setters. Source generate toString method. Okay, for address you have one variable location, right? Now what I'm doing inside the student object, I'm taking the student type. Okay, next variable. Okay, next variable is very surprising. I am taking the address variable. Address variable is user dependent. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now there is a problem. Now there is a problem. See, when I say source generate constructor using fields, and let me generate all this. Generate getters and setters. Source generate toString method. The problem here is, let me remove this. Let us depend upon, first of all, let us depend upon the own copy method, public. Okay, return type is student copy. right? So our copy method is going to do what? Our just copy method is just going to do string name, this dot name, string, I mean address equal to this dot address, then so you are understanding about the purpose of copy method, right? It looks same, but there is a problem here. So when I create an object for student s1 equal to new student, okay, let me say student name is Sudhir. Let me say age is 21. Okay, student s2 equal to s1 dot copy s1. I'm sorry, I should pass an address here, right? So address means, let me say new address, because second field is an address field. So instead of doing this, what I can do, address ad equal to new address. So this address is expecting a location. Let me pass Chennai. Pass it. Okay, see, I have the address. First I create address object because student object is expecting the address object. First parameter is Sudhir, second parameter is address object. So I'm doing what? I'm taking another student reference and I'm just copying s1, assigning it to s2. Okay, and just want to print the values of s1 and s2. Okay. Now tell me, do you think the copy is happening here or not? Okay, anyone? What is happening behind the scenes? What is the problem here? What is the problem that you see here? Are you able to see the problem? Are you able to witness the problem? Or recognize what is happening? Anyone?
It's just taking the address, full address, without copying.
Correct. Good. Address reference is here. The address reference is acting as a common reference for both S1 and S2. What do you mean is, let us trace this. Let us trace this to get a better picture. So this is the code, and also I just want to depend on. I also want to include the copy method. This is the copy method or factory method. Good. Okay, let us start from the beginning. Okay, this one. Okay, you have what? You are just creating an object for address first, right? So this is AD, and the address is Chennai. So very much straightforward. Next object is created for student. S1 object. Second line. I am talking about second line. Okay, focus. Second line. This one. Okay. So Sudhir as an address. Okay, this address is pointing to this object. Yes or no? Hello. This is S1. Next, what I am doing? Okay, I am just saying. Okay, copy. Take the copy of S1. I am just giving a command. Get the copy of S1. So definitely, okay, this copy method will be called. Right? What copy method is doing? Copy method is obeying, saying that it is copying the name. No issues. New name is created. No issues. Okay, but it is not copying the address. Okay, here it is just copying the reference of the address. This dot address means, okay, not copying the actual address. It is not copying the Chennai here. Chennai is not happening. Chennai is not getting copied here. Okay, it's just copying the reference of the address, which is what? It is copying the reference of address. What does it mean? This address, both the address reference are pointing to the same object. Okay, one thing is completely getting copied. Name is getting copied. You do not have any issues with the name variable. Why no? You don't have any issues with any variable because it is using a data type of string, inbuilt data type, string data type, which is immutable in nature. The problem happens when you start using your own data type, address data type. So using your address data type, this is your own data type. It is mutable in nature. Mutable in the sense, okay, the address references are getting shared. Only references will be shared, not the actual objects. You need to find a way. You need to find a way so that, okay, when you copy the copy, it's not giving you the, it is not copying the reference. Instead of the reference, okay, it is copying the actual address, which is what, Chennai. So what is the proof that it is not actually copying? Okay, let me print this. I'm printing S1 and S2. You are getting this, okay? But I'm doing some small manipulation on the let us say the S2 object. So S2 dot let me say like get address dot set location Pune. System dot out dot println S1 S2. Now you see name is Sudhir. Name remains Sudhir. The second change, name remains Sudhir. Sudhir remains Sudhir. You're not changing anything, okay? But you are changing the S2 object to Pune, but S1 is also getting changed. You will understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us
Yes,
say,
sir.
okay, sir, okay, name is okay. Can you change the name? If you ask me, let me say S2 dot get name, okay, dot set okay, why
You can directly set the range.
directly I can set, right? Okay. Okay, now S2 name, I'm expecting to change it to Balaji, which means, right? S1 should remain Sudhir, S2 should remain Balaji. But look at the effect on the location. Okay, Sudhir, Balaji, this is fine, but location remains same for both the objects. Are you able to see the difference?
Yes, sir.
This is
Yes,
what the
sir.
shallow, this is the shallow copy. What shallow copy says, look at the theory. Now theory makes more sense. A shallow copy creates a new object, okay, but does not clone the objects inside it. Object in the sense, here I am referring to the address object. Objects. Okay, it copies a reference of nested, which means not primitive objects. For non-primitive is one integer. When the what we call as the user defined, like address, like student could be also be non-primitive student. Any user defined type, non-primitive. It won't copy, it will just copy the reference. But for all the primitives and for all the inbuilt data types like string, it is mutable. If it is, if it is immutable, remember, if it is immutable, no issues. String is an immutable, no issues. So string is also internally implementing the clonable interface. Able to understand? Shall we jump into deep copy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now
Yes, sir.
how to achieve the deep copy? Okay, so this is what this is somewhat giving us a kind of disturbance. Okay, copy is not actually happening as it is. Something is missing here, right? So what I'm going to do here is, so in the address class, I will create a copy method that is specific to address. What I will do, I will create a copy method specific to address, my own copy method. Public address copy. Okay, so what is going to return? Address A equal to this dot what address? String location equal to this dot location. Dot location return new address. location. Okay, now I have created my own copy method for address. I have my own copy method for student. So what I'm going to do, since I want to create a copy of student inside the student copy method, okay, this is fine. Okay, but inside the address, what I'm trying to do is, I will call the address. I will call the address reference, and on this address reference, I will call the copy method. Problem solved. Now this time it will not depend on one for address also a new copy will be created because of our code. You will understand? Not do anything. I did not do any rocket science here. Simply,
Yes, sir.
I have created a copy method on address. Address has my address has own copy method. Okay, student has own copy method. Okay, but the idea here is we need to create multiple copies of student. Right? So when I invoke the copy method of student, this copy method of student should also invoke the copy method of address. So instead of depending on reference, address will also create a copy. I'm calling the address copy method of address here. Okay, address will be copied and new address will be added here, and you will get the new copy of name, new copy of address. Okay, if I run the same code, now this time it should give the different value, no? Chennai and Pune, right?
Yes, sir.
Let us see. Look at the beauty. So we have achieved deep copy now. What is deep copy? It's a deep copy. Deep copy is what? A deep copy creates a new object and also create new copies of nested object. You might be having any nested object. For each and every nested object, there will be a copy. Example, okay, let us say you have the class student. The student is depending on the address. Okay, let us say that you have the class address. Address is depending on what? Address is depending on the city. City is a variable. City is a class again. The class city. Now you see you have three different classes, right? So when I say deep copy, when you create a copy of student, okay, it will create a copy of address first, and when address copy is getting created, it will create a copy of city first. Okay? It will happen in the nested way. In the if you understand the object graph, okay, according to the object graph, the deepest object variable needs to create a copy. In this case, the city is the deepest object variable. City is the deepest object because it is inside another object. That another object is inside another object. Okay, firstly, the copy of city will be created, then copy of address will be created, then the copy of student will be created. Able to follow?
Yes, sir.
These things you have to take care manually. This is what deep copy is. These things you have to take. How can we achieve this by using Java? Again, we can go for what? You can go for copy constructors, or else you can also go for what? You can also go for clone method. We can implement this by using clone method. Let me remove this. Not required. Let me remove the copy method here. This is also not required. Let me remove these things. Not required. Let us keep it very simple. So what I want to do, I want to use the clone method. I do not want to use my own copy method. I want to use the clone method. So I need to make my class to get eligibility to do the copy, right? To create copies, right? What I'm supposed to do?
Implements
Correct.
clonable.
Implements clonable. Implements clonable. So I should also ensure that the this object is also getting implemented to clonable. Yes or no? Right? Firstly, address object needs to override the clone method because address should also create a copy, right?
Yes, sir.
This will override the clone method. Okay, and then student object should also override the clone method. But the question is how the logic is getting written in the student object. So what I'm doing, firstly, student. Let us clone the student first. Student clone equal to dot Okay, then clone the address. Clone dot address equal to address dot clone. Okay, return the cloned object. You want me to explain this?
No, no.
Not required, no? Firstly, I am cloning the student, particular class, current class. Then I am cloning the address separately. Okay, this address is part of the clone reference, right? So I got the student, but in the student, I am able to successfully clone the name. Name gets cloned successfully because it is primitive. But the problem is address will not be cloned successfully. It has a reference, right? So for the address, I am doing a separate cloning. I am taking the address. What for address I am doing? I am calling the clone method of address again. After building the object, I am just returning the clone reference variable. Going to do the same thing. Plus equal to okay, then I can directly call what student s2 equal to s1 dot clone method. Okay, it will throw exception. No, I need to cast. I need to cast it. I need to handle this exception. This is the problem with the clone method. Okay, you have to take care of all these things. Step dot. By using copy constructors, you can avoid this. Again, that is also a topic of discussion. That is also a most popular interview question that usually asked in the L2 round. System.out.println s1 system.out.println. Let us try to check whether the deep copy is also happening or not. If you miss anything, student terminal stack overflow 78 78 student this clone. Okay, sorry, super.clone. Super.clone. Okay, this means it is like again it is going to refer the same thing. Okay, the clone method keeps calling over and over again. It's super.clone. So the student super.clone. Then what I am doing, I am extracting this object and I am just cloning the address part and returning. Okay. Let us do a modification on s2 object. 2 dot get address dot get location. Say working now? Working or not?
Yes, sir.
Working fine now? Have understood? Okay. Your job has to do what? You have to understand the implementation of clone method. Okay. Just do practice. You'll get these things. Okay. So what is an alternative way of copying the objects? Okay. You can use the copy constructor also. You'll also do the copy constructor that we will discuss tomorrow. And the second popular question that we have to discuss today. This is clear now? Any experience is required? Shallow copy, deep copy.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Understood, no?
Yes.
Now one second popular. It is not only the popular question. You will get so many questions on this. Okay, I will just draft that for you. This is regarding Java 8. I'm not sure how many of you have seen my Java 8 videos. If you are not, if you haven't seen, I will recommend you to see those videos again and come back. Okay? I'm taking the student class, guys. Student class. Every time, out of 10 interviews, at least in 5 interviews, you get this question. So they would give you an object, student object. The student object can have name, can have age, and it can also have something like location. 3 variables. They consider 3 variables. Create constructors using this. Let me build the objects so quickly. To generate getters instance. Okay, generate toString method. Suppose generate toString. So I have a student class, okay, with 3 variables. Right? Let me quickly create objects for students. Student s1 equal to new student. Okay, Ramesh. Let's say the age is 20. Let's say location is from Chennai. Let me create 5 more student object. Create 10 now. Ramesh, Suresh, Ganesh, Lokesh, Mukesh, Anita, Sunita, Kirti, Bharti, Vignesh, Lalita. Okay. 20, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Some random age I'm taking. 65, 70. Pune, Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai. Okay. How many student objects I have? I have 10 student objects. If you want, you can add many number of student objects. Okay. So now I want to save every object in a list of students equal to as list e. Okay, all the student objects are be saved in the list. Okay, now the question is, now tell me the naive approach. If I ask you the list of students whose name starts with R or whose name starts with something like yes, what would be the approach? I want to print the list of students whose name starts with. This is the question.
We can use comparator.
Comparator. Oh, okay, comparator we can use. What is the other approach? Comparator we can use, but the idea of using the comparator is what? Just for the sorting sequence we are going to use now.
Yes.
Just for the sorting.
We
Apart
can
from
extract.
how we can extract? That is the question. What are the possible ways? The first possible, very possible ways, I can use a enhancer for loop. Do you agree with this? I can run my list. Okay. I can run the student object, student x in students. I can simply say if I can write a condition. This condition is going to get me what I want. Condition is going to get me what I want. What I want in each every student object. I just want to get the yeah, correct. I want to get name and I can use a method like starts with some some string method. Starts with I can give a prefix something like yes. Okay, this if condition is going to give me what I want actually, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's going to give me what I want. Same thing applies for any logic. Okay, so you see, you get to see Suresh and Sunita. If you want to get names whose names are not starting with S, I can do a simply modification. I can use a not operator in the beginning. Okay, now I will get the list of names whose are not starting with S. I can do whatever I want. I can get whatever I want. If I want to get the person, get the list of persons whose age is less than 50. Okay, this if condition is going to give me, right? And again, if I want to say, okay, I want to get the list of persons whose name is not starting with S, and also I want to get the list of persons whose age is less than 50 or greater less than 50. Okay, this one if condition is going to give me all the questions. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Right? But the question they're asking is, they do not want you to do this by using this is Java 7 approach. This is what? This is Java 7 approach. Java 7 approach. Okay, but you want to get the same thing by using Java 8. Java 8 approach. You will expect Java 8 approach. You learn simple programs, that will be more than enough for interview. Do you know, anyone knows how to do this by using Java 8? Okay, there is a concept in Java 8 which is called the stream APIs. Okay, I will just give you the small intro. Stream APIs. Streams. Java streams. Okay, if you have time, you can see my stream APIs using Java 8.
Streams.printer.collect.
Correct. You can do what? Okay, so basically, if the operation is a kind of a filtering operation, when I say filtering operation, extracting something based upon a condition. You agree? Filtering means what? Extracting something based upon a condition. Yes or no? I mean, get me the names of person whose name starts with A. Extracting something out of a collection. Or give me the list of persons whose age is greater than 50. Extracting something. Filtering. Give me the list of person who lives in Bangalore. Filtering. Give me the list of person who is not living in Bangalore. Filtering. Okay. So when there is a kind of filtering operations, especially when you want to use Java 8, you can use a method called what? Filter method. The filter method. Hello?
Yes, sir.
When there is any kind of transformation, so when I say transformation, give me the list of all names in capital letters. Do you see any reduction here? Transformation, do you see any reduction? Let me keep it simple. When I say transformation, I want all the list, but the list should have the names in capital letters, which means every object has to participate. Every object has to transform in such a way that is expecting our condition. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Transformation means you use map method. First of all, get used to this method. Filter method is there, map method is there. Let's try to understand what is filter method. Okay, what I can do, this is my student is an array of list. Okay, list of students. Okay, I can convert it to stream. How I can convert it to stream? Just doing students dot stream. When I say stream, all the objects will be collected one by one. One by one. I mean, each and every object will be pushed one by one according to the order of the particular collection type. So this is the array type, right? According to the list type. I mean, insertion order is, from S1, S2, S3, it is going to start from S1, S2. Going to push S1, S2, S3 objects one by one. 3 means what? It is going to collect everything. It is going to push. It is a kind of pipe, guys. It is a kind of pipeline. Okay, all the objects which are inside the students will be pipeline together one by one after another. Okay, and there you can use a filter method. Inside this filter method, it is going to accept a predicate. You can see what is predicate later, but for now I will give you a small picture of predicate. Okay, you can take any variable name. It can be X, it can be your name, also anything. Okay, so this X is representing each and every student object. How many student object we have? S1, S2, S3, S4, S4. Likewise, every X is representing every student object. When X is representing S1, what you're doing, you are saying x dot get name dot starts with, okay, you can say something like s. Okay, I'm also completing it something like dot for each. Okay, so this for each accepting an argument again x system dot out dot println x dot get name. Let me comment this. This line is going to do the same thing which was done by the enhancer for. Run this code, you get the same list. Hey Sunita, what is happening behind the scenes? Students, okay, how many student objects are there? S1 to S10, yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
This S1 to S10 is converted to a stream, which means one by one, okay, it is waiting in the pipeline from S1 followed by S2 followed by S3 and so on. So on, it is going to wait inside the pipeline. Okay, filter will get access to first object S1. Okay, X, okay, you are just using a pseudonym X here. Out of X S1, you're extracting the name. What is the name inside S1? Ramesh. Okay, so you are saying you're extending the name Ramesh. Okay, and checking if this name is starting with S. Is it starting with S? No, right? R. Okay, this object will be ignored. S1 will be ignored. Okay, likewise S2, S3, everything will participate in this pipeline. Whichever object is satisfying this condition, okay, that object is eligible enough to go through this for each method. This for each method is again accepting the pseudonym X is nothing but the object that is accepted here. Let us say what are the objects that could be accepted here. Okay, S2 and S7. Okay, S2 object and S7 object. Okay, from this S2 object you are extracting the name and printing this Suresh. From this S7 object you are extracting name and printing which is Suresh.
Sir, for each is a method.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, Sudhir, you are saying something?
For each is a method, no, sir, not a loop.
Here for each, for each is a method, correct? But internally, again in the with respect to Java 8, this for each accepts a consumer. Okay, you need to understand what is a consumer again. I'll tell you what is it. For each is a method. It is just a method similar to filter method or similar to the map method. It is just like an ordinary method. But this method is accepting a consumer inside. Consumer means, and again, it is a topic of discussion in Java 8. You have to understand what is a consumer. It consumes. Whatever value you pass, it will just consumes and it will return some. It will it will print something. You will understand?
Okay, yes.
I mean, still have doubts. See the consumer topic in my Java 8. Consumer. Make very much clear. It consumes an object, it will not return anything. Very simple. It will just print. If you want, you can print. That's it. You can consume an object. If you want, you can just print it. That's it. Typically, this is used to display something in the console or print a message in the console. If you do not want to return something inside the console, you can use this type of references. Making sense? Example, see, I will give you an example because you have asked me. I will give you an example. Let me say, I do not want to print this. I just want to store this somewhere. Okay, I'm creating a variable like let me say string variable. I want to just store the names. Okay, name starts with yes. This is my variable name. new array list. I just want to store. I do not want to print it here. Just want to store. What else I can do? I can simply say, okay, instead of printing it, I can use I will understand this modification now. This is accepting a name. I mean, accepting S1 object. Okay. After accepting this object, you are adding that to a variable name starts with, which means now Suresh and Sunita will be part of name starts with variable. You consume it and you do an operation depends upon your requirement. You don't see anything in the console. If you want to see in the console, you just want to print this. Now this is holding the values. You are storing it in a variable. There is difference. Able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Just see. I don't think